Bill is hanging a rib here.
This is a term that we use. You saw me the other day when I was knitting the ribs for this sweater for Mr. Calderon. And in order to put the rib on the machine that I used to knit the sweater, okay,
which is this machine. It's one of the brothers that I showed you earlier. And that doesn't mean that the machines are brothers with each other. The company is brother.
And
so this is one of the machines from the 1970s.
Right. And so what I do when I knit the rib, I have the open stitches at the top of the rib, and then I have this white, thin, very thin, white nylon separating thread that I use to separate the ribs from one to the other. And then I hang this up, and then I pull out the separating thread, and I'm left with the rib hanging on the knitting machine.
And so what you're hanging is not that white thread, it's actually the black.
The black rib.
Right.
Okay, which is Mr. Calderon's choice as to what he wanted for the ribs on this sweater, which is very good because it's distinctive. We can see this.
And this is going to be a really, really cool sweater.
Yeah, it is going to be a pretty cool sweater. Yeah, so anyway. And I understand, think, whatever, that the Chicago Cubs, and I'm not a baseball fan, but I'm a follower of baseball, let's put it that way, but I understand that the Chicago Cubs are leading their division.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
From what I understand, the Cubs never do well.
Well, it's like, they haven't been in the World Series since 1902 or something. I don't know.
The pastor at the church that I went to in Minnesota used to make jokes about the definition of hope being the people who show up at Wrigley Field. Because they never give up hope the Cubs will someday do it. I think the Cubs have some really, really ardent fans.
Well, they do.
Yeah. So this is supposed to be kind of like a sweater that one of the coaches from the Cubs in 1908?
1908, 1902.
What was his name, honey? You knew it.
No,
okay.
Chance. Is it Chance?
Well, Mr. Calderon can tell you. And can you show us the instrument that you were using for hanging that? It's got, I'm zoomed in here, so it's got 2 prongs on it. So he works with 2 stitches at one time.
And then it has one on
the other side. And Bill can do this pretty quickly. If I were to try to do it, it would probably take me an hour at least. Now what he's working with right now, this is the front, right? This is the bottom of the front.
This is a cardigan sweater.
Mm-hmm.
So it has 2 fronts.
So this is half of the front.
So this is one half of the front.
And it looks really wide, but that's because when it's on the knitting machine, it's stretched way out. Okay, so now watch. Oh, let me get over to the other side because this is really fun to watch from the other side. Just don't run into me because I don't want to run into those lights. They're hot. Okay, you guys, you got to really watch fast. Get your eyeballs open. This goes quick. This is cool. Ah, did you see that? I don't know, for some reason, I'm simple pleasures. I just think that's very cool.
What I'm doing, this is the separating thread that I knit between the ribs.
That white thread.
This white stuff, and it's nylon, and it's very strong. Okay?
But we don't want nylon in the sweater. The sweater's wool.
And so this is...
Now, another thing that I want to show you is that there's this other piece back here that Bill already knit.
Which is?
And this is the pocket. And so right now it's hanging down. And, honey, where's the other piece, the finished front?
Oh.
That has the... Can you bring it here? He's going to bring it
Oh,
here
here
so that
it
you
is.
can see what it looks like, so we can kind of show you. It looks like it's going to be too small, but it's not. Okay, so this is the front.
This is the right side
Okay, that's the right side.
of the front.
Okay. And this
Okay.
thing hanging down here is the pocket. It'll turn up here.
Right.
Okay, and this all uncurls. It curls up when it's knit. It's just that's how it does until it's sewn together. So
Okay.
it's gray. It's what's called mainline pewter. Very pretty gray.
And this is for Mr. Calderon, whom I've never met, but I have his measurements, and he's a big guy.
And we really like him. He's really fun. And I bet you guys like him too. All right, so we'll come back to Bill when he's knitting.